So the hottest topic right now, if we're talking about weight loss, is Ozempic. What's your take on that?
You should avoid if you can.
How many are taking it
Mhm.
and crediting workouts and nutrition?
So, Ozempic can actually really ruin your health. And the biggest problem with Ozempic is people are taking it just to cut down their hunger. And of course, they are eating less, but because they are eating so less, they don't have any energy to work out. And they are lose. The biggest problem with Ozempic is sarcopenia, which is huge amount of muscle loss. So,
Hmm.
and metabolism drop. So they literally have to be Ozempic for a very, very long time if they don't want to gain the weight back. We have a one gentleman coming, he's taking Ozempic since 3 to 4 years, or maybe little lesser. He's lost 8 kilos, but he's gained almost six back. Taking Ozempic, doing everything, but of course not exercising, not eating healthily. We have people coming back with taking Ozempic and very high levels of fatty liver. Now, what happens if you lose weight suddenly? It increases the fatty acid release in your blood, and that can actually get deposited in your liver. So you can get really high amounts of fats in your liver, which is also not very desirable. So it's not that we are saying people don't have Ozempic. If they are coming with Ozempic, we are telling them make sure you have enough protein and you're working out. Otherwise, you're dependent on life for that, or you're going to stop and gain back everything.
Hmm.
Now, a second problem with Ozempic is that your gut dysbiosis, whole gut gets ruined. So you have a lot of vomiting spells and other issues. So you need to be really, really sure. And if it should be taken by people who have who are morbidly obese or who are highly diabetic, which can really help to bring their sugar levels down and their resultant cholesterol levels and other things, but should not be taken just for weight loss.
If you see someone, can you tell they've taken Ozempic?
So yeah, when you lose muscle, you lose from everywhere, right? You also lose from your face. So you lose muscle from your face.
So
Then
your
it looks
face structure
gaunt. Yeah,
entirely
yeah, yeah.
changes.
That's you can make out people who are taking.
Hmm.
But we did have one girl coming with to us with she was taking Monjaro
So it's an injection that you take and you
once a
can take
week.
it at home
Yeah,
once a week.
yeah.
And Ozempic and Mounjaro, what is the difference?
So they have a different chemical, both of them, and they have similar work action. People prefer Monjaro as vis-a-vis Ozempic. They think side effects of Ozempic are much higher than Monjaro. And
Okay.
so this young girl came to us. She was 130 kgs and she was young, so she was looking ahead to get married. She was not able to control her hunger. So she in fact started the Ozempic or Monjaro and came to us. So it was a good thing because we really pushed her to exercise and we gave her a very healthy diet. She did manage to lose 35 kgs and she's doing pretty well. She's still continuing. So if you are like someone who wants to take Ozempic, they make sure that you're on a very good nutrition and exercise plan.
You have to balance it,
Yeah.
the Ozempic.
But the best way to lose weight is naturally.
What is your take on plastic surgery for weight loss? Um, that's a huge, we
Yeah.
feel like that's going to be the next big thing.
Yeah. So I have seen people doing stomach stapling and doing liposuction. So I have seen many, many, many cases of these. They all have gained back the weight and in not in a right manner like other
Mm.
places. And so it is all these are short term fixes, all short term fixes. So maybe it's beneficial for Bollywood because if they are doing, I don't know anyone doing, but because they have very short timeline and they have to lose weight during that time. So maybe for them.
What is the most unhealthy thing people are doing in the name of weight loss? That maybe you look at and you cringe. You know
Yeah,
that.
going vegan maybe. It's really, I know it's really controversial, but some vegan is something they really ruin their health in a long way, especially for if a person is a pregnant woman or a lactating woman, being vegan is not the best thing to do. So that is one thing I don't agree with
Hmm. But what if
veganism.
you're not pregnant or lactating?
Still, you will lose cholesterol as an option in your nutrition. Cholesterol is important for, of course, brain development, but also cholesterol maintains the myelin sheath in your, the all the neurons and the nerves in your brain are covered with a myelin sheath. It maintains that B12 and the cholesterol, so that becomes very less, and then you can have irreversible brain damage, nerve damage.
Hmm.
So because of being vegan in a long term, not like you started vegan and within 2 3 months you'll
Yeah,
have
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So, and plus also because you don't have any first class protein, all the proteins are second class, like pulses and nuts, etc., and tofu, all second class proteins. So you have protein deficiencies. You can make out a vegan because again they have lines faster on their face. Mm.
Oh. So basically, milk is amazing for the skin, is something that I've definitely taken away from this conversation.
Yeah, if you're lactose intolerant, then curd and paneer.
Yeah,
And if you're non-vegetarian, you don't have to have milk protein because
yeah,
you're getting your cholesterol and first class protein for
yeah.
meat, fish, chicken, and eggs.
Correct, correct. Alia Bhatt, Ananya Pandey, Sonakshi Sinha, they've all been your clients.
Hmm.
How do they maintain a healthy diet despite really hectic schedules?
So the diets made for them are different because if they are like suppose if they are shooting, so they suppose it's a night shoot, so we make their diet differently. But all of them are very particular about their food because they know they need the food for the energy to look good and to have better immunity and skin and hair. So they of course they have their whole battalion of people who help them to maintain their diet, and it's not only diet, they also take care of their sleep and their workout. So all of them really work out really hard. Especially, I remember when years ago, actually, Alia came to us many years ago, and she lost some weight with us, and we corrected her lifestyle and gave her a very healthy diet, which really helped her to lose weight. In fact, we gave her more food than she was eating.
Mm, interesting. So, what is that healthy diet that you kind of talk about and stand by?
I tell them that a diet has to be in such a way that whether you're losing weight or gaining weight or doing muscle training, we have actors also coming to build muscle and become muscly. So I said the ground rule is that you should not be falling sick, should not be losing hair, you should not have bad skin, you should not lose your immunity, and you should not lose muscle and bone.
Because if you do, that's a bad sign.
That's a bad sign.
But there is such a big trend today about all these crash diets. Keto. There's this. I know there's a diet from one of these diets from south of India where they make you cut all the foods and then introduce one food
Yeah.
every single week or
Yeah.
something like that. How do you kind of react to that as a nutritionist who's been there for so long?
See, the weight loss is something people need a quick fix. Nobody has patience. You know, weight gain is a slow process. It doesn't happen in a month, you gain 5 kgs. It doesn't happen. Yeah.
Hmm.
Same way, the weight loss will be a slow process. Okay. What is the right way of losing weight is 1% of your body weight per week. It's a very simple formula. If you're losing more than that, that means you're losing muscle and everything else. So whenever I see those kind of diets, so first I see whether it's balanced with nutrition, which is carb, protein, fats, and fiber for at least 2 to 3 meals in a day. If that is there and they're not falling sick and they're not having any side effect, then it's fine. But most of these fat diets, they all come back to us that we have had this issue, we had back pain, we've had excess amount of hair fall, all those things they come back to us with where they've had gut dysbiosis, where the whole gut balance have gotten off because they
Hmm.
have removed the if you remove a particular food group from your diet for a very long time, like I did, I'm myself a guinea pig. So when I read a book called which is like Eat Fruits Till 12 Hours,
Okay.
yeah, so I was a guinea pig. I did that on myself and my whole, and of course, stop any kind of dairy, become vegan. So I was vegan for 3 to 4 years before I studied nutrition. And I was thin, I was everything, but I had no glow. I was falling still sick every 3 months with my tonsillitis or seasonal. And and at the same time, my hemoglobin was low, my hair was turning white, and I was having huge amount of hair fall. So I knew there's something wrong which I'm doing. Okay. And of course, being vegan for 3 years, then I could not digest any milk protein. So
Hmm.
I stopped producing lactase to digest lactose because I stopped for such a long time.
And have you been able to go back?
So I can now take, of course, curd and paneer, which are easily digestible, and I can take very little of fat-free milk in my tea.
Okay.
That's
But
all
it's
I can.
but it's basically had a lifelong impact on
Yeah.
you.